Welcome to Let's Get Scared channel. In this chilling creepypasta story, we follow the harrowing journey of a skilled spirit conjurer who unwittingly stumbles upon a force beyond their darkest nightmares. I have spent countless years practicing the ancient art of spirit conjuring, binding ethereal beings to various objects. Throughout my journey, I have encountered all manner of spirits such as angels, gargoyles, demons, jinn, fairies, dragons, hodam, and watchers. I believed I had seen it all, but one fateful day, a request arrived that would change everything. A message came from a desperate individual who sought a direct spirit binding of a spirit I never heard of before. They told me to invoke and bind a Nixolith. The customer found an ancient book on their property that shows how one of their ancestors were able to command a Nixolith. The Nixolith did their bidding and bestowed great psychic powers to the ancestor. So, the customer believed that a Nixolith can do the same for them. They yearned to have a spirit bound directly to their being, to experience a connection that transcended the boundaries of physical existence. I was intrigued yet hesitant. I don't like to work with spirits I am unfamiliar with. I offered an option of my other spirits, describing each in detail, what they do and what to expect. Generally, I advised all my customers on trying a vessel binding instead of direct spirit attachments, especially if we are dealing with darker entities, or in case of first-time spirit keepers. But this customer insisted on a Nixolith, and I wanted to provide a good customer service. So, reluctantly, I delved into the depths of my knowledge and ancient texts, seeking guidance on such a precarious endeavor. I could feel a tingling sense of unease as I prepared for this binding, a knot of apprehension forming in the pit of my stomach. The ritual began in a dimly lit chamber, surrounded by ancient symbols etched into the walls. A chilling breeze whispered through the room, carrying a foreboding aura. I meticulously followed the intricate steps, invoking the spirits and establishing a sacred space to bridge the realms of the tangible and the ethereal. As the conjuration reached its apex, an eerie silence enveloped the chamber. The air grew heavy, almost suffocating, and a sense of anticipation tingled in every nerve of my body. Suddenly, a gust of wind erupted, extinguishing the candles and plunging the room into darkness. When the room was illuminated once more, a figure stood before me, unlike any spirit I had encountered before. Nixolith appeared as a shadowy figure, draped in tattered, ethereal robes that seemed to sway with an unseen wind. Its visage was obscured by a cowl, leaving only piercing, glowing eyes that emanate an eerie, sickly green light. The eyes themselves seemed to hold an abyss of suffering. I instantly felt a vortex of despair, extreme fear just by looking at them. It's as if all my phobias suddenly emerged into one. Its presence was suffused with an otherworldly energy that sent shivers down my spine. The spirit's eyes burned with an intense fire, filled with ancient knowledge and a hunger for power. A flicker of doubt crossed my mind. Was this spirit beyond my control, beyond my understanding? But the Nixolith dismissed my concerns, demanding the binding proceed. Its voice was chilling, disembodied whisper that echoed with a cacophony of anguished cries. Against my intuition, I obliged, sealing the pact between the unknown spirit and the desperate customer. After the conjuration, days turned into weeks, and an uneasy tension settled over me like a never-ending storm. My dreams became plagued by sinister shadows and nightmares, and my waking hours were consumed by a gnawing sense of dread. Whispers echoed through the corridors of my mind, and I could feel a dark presence lurking just beyond the edges of my perception. I became intensely paranoid. I saw strange things and struggled to distinguish reality. My personal trauma memories suddenly resurfaced, and I relived them every day. I was very anxious, and all possible negative emotions a human can have appeared to be amplified. Then, one evening, a frantic, barely audible message arrived from my Ilmuhadam spirit. He told me that during the Nixolith binding I unleashed a potent evil force that is attacking my psyche, and it was urgent I conduct an exorcism on myself. My Hadam spirit promised to help me. He said he will employ all my watchers' spirits too. I was surprised because some of my watchers are Grigori, or dark watchers, and my Hodam didn't get along with them. But, I guess, they decided to help me together. Fear gripped my heart, but a sense of duty compelled me to confront the terror I had unleashed. I had never done an exorcism on myself before. Gathering my resolve, I prepared for the arduous task of exorcism. The ritual called for an ancient chant, a sequence of incantations passed down through generations of spirit conjurers. But as the first words escaped my lips, the chamber transformed. The walls of my ritual room twisted and contorted, taking on grotesque shapes, and the air turned thick with a sickening stench of decay. The unknown spirit's presence intensified, its power surging like an unleashed tempest. Tormented faces materialized in the shadows, their anguished wails piercing the air. Each step I took felt as if I were trudging through an ethereal swamp, the weight of the unknown spirit's malevolence dragging me down. Desperation mingled with terror as I fought to retain my focus and complete the exorcism. With every incantation, the unknown spirit unleashed a torrent of spiritual attacks. A searing pain coursed through my veins as invisible claws raked across my flesh, leaving trails of fiery agony in their wake. I could hear mocking laughter echoing through the chamber, chilling me to the core. The very fabric of reality seemed to fray under the strain of this unholy confrontation. Time became a blur as minutes stretched into eternities. Sweat poured down my brow, my hands trembling with both fatigue and fear. The words of the exorcism slipped from my lips in a fervent chant, each syllable infused with a desperate plea for deliverance. But the unknown spirit fought back with a ferocity that surpassed anything I had ever encountered. It unleashed a tempest of dark energy, twisting and warping the space around us. Shadows danced like frenzied specters, their tendrils snaking towards me, threatening to consume me whole. I stumbled and fell to my knees, gasping for breath, my voice growing weak. Doubt clawed at the edges of my consciousness, threatening to extinguish the flickering flame of hope within me. The spirit's taunting whispers filled the air, sowing seeds of despair. Yet, a glimmer of determination sparked within me when the group of my watchers and my Kodam spoke in unison, telling me to not give up. In that moment I realized they are there with me, and a newfound strength overtook me. I refused to let this unknown entity overpower me, to succumb to its insidious influence. With renewed resolve, I gathered the remnants of my strength and pressed forward, pouring every ounce of my being into the exorcism. Slowly, the tides began to turn. The words of the ancient chant resonated with newfound power, a beacon of light amidst the encroaching darkness. The unknown spirit recoiled, its once imposing form quivering with uncertainty. It thrashed and writhed, attempting to cling to the vessel, me, it had bound itself to. As the final words of the exorcism reverberated through the chamber, a blinding flash of light filled the space, banishing the shadows and dispelling the malevolent presence. Silence settled like a comforting blanket, broken only by my ragged breaths and the fading echoes of the departed spirit. Exhausted but triumphant, I surveyed the aftermath of the harrowing encounter. The ritual room bore the scars of the battle, a testament to the struggle that had unfolded within its confines. I couldn't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude that I had emerged from this ordeal alive, my spirit still intact and my spirit helpers standing next to me in all their spiritual glory. The experience had changed me. It had shaken the foundation of my confidence, reminding me of the vastness and unpredictability of the spiritual realm. The memory of that Nixilith spirit would forever haunt my dreams, serving as a chilling reminder of the risks and dangers inherent in the path I had chosen. And so, with a mixture of trepidation and resilience, I continue my journey as a spirit conjurer, forever mindful of the boundaries I tread and the unforeseen terrors that lurk in the shadows, waiting to be awakened by the summoning of a name yet unheard. And that concludes today's story, a tale that will, I'm sure, linger in your thoughts long after the final whispers fade away. In the occult traditions, spirit keeping is a real practice steeped in ancient lore. It involves forming connections with otherworldly entities. These bonds can range from benevolent spirits guiding and protecting, to malevolent forces seeking to do the bidding of those who dare to summon them. Finding very skilled and reputable conjurer takes time and research. It is not advisable to attempt invoking and binding any spirit on your own without proper knowledge and preparation. If you thirst for more bone-chilling tales, fascinating paranormal encounters, and heart-pounding journeys into the realms of the unknown, make sure to subscribe to the Let's Get Scared channel. Thank you for watching and listening. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and always be prepared for what lies beyond the veil of shadows.